Sup everyone, I'm your female otaku, and with the announcement of Code Geass Season 3, I've decided to give you my thoughts on the situation, and about other sequels in general. The topic of sequels in anime is a tricky one. Some people hate sequels because it means less original content and leaves great completed manga in the dust. Others like sequels as long as it gives a good ending, aka wraps everything up with all questions answered. But recently we have been getting a lot of sequel announcements to either old, completed, or very successful anime, which begs the question, why? Let's look at some of the sequels that are coming up, ignoring Attack on Titan. Blue Exorcist, High School DxD, One Punch Man, Code Geass, and possibly Panty and Stocking. At the moment, we're still getting teased about that. Like I said earlier, Code Geass just got announced for Season 3, Lush of the Revival. A lot of people are really happy about Code Geass getting a Season 3, but I'm not. Code Geass is known for having one of the greatest finales in anime history. So why the heck is it getting an unnecessary sequel? This is like announcing a sequel to Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Blue Exorcist was a pretty average anime, but had a satisfying conclusion. However, there was still more content to adapt in the widely popular manga. To me, having a sequel being announced 5 years later at this time is very random, but it clearly means A1 Pictures just wants the money. They know people will watch it because the manga is successful. One Punch Man getting a sequel isn't a bad idea. One Punch Man aired last year, and the manga and the anime are selling like crazy even today. Unlike Blue Exorcist, where the announcement was out of the blue, a One Punch Man sequel seems reasonable at this state, since fans of both the anime and the manga love it to death, and it's still fresh in people's minds. This seems less of a cash grab and more like fan service to the audience, which isn't a bad thing. It just means that the studio cares about the fans. High School DxD, currently one of the most popular harems in both anime and light novel world. Now Season 3 had a complete ending, but there's still more content to adapt in the light novel. But just because there is content left to adapt, doesn't mean it needs to be, especially when the anime had a finished ending. It's hard to interpret whether DxD Season 4 is a cash grab or fan service. Either way, I'm still gonna watch it. With the teasing of a Panty and Stocking sequel, again, nothing has been officially confirmed, the anime community went crazy with joy. Panty and Stocking is known for its cliffhanger ending, and many people wanted a continuation of that. However, people like me believe that Panty and Stocking was never meant to get a sequel, because the anime was all about not giving a shit, so they gave a fuck you all ending. Whether or not you think Panty and Stocking needs a sequel, here's the thought I'm trying to get at here. The only time we really need a sequel is for something that didn't have a complete end. Not talking about an anime that had a finished finale, but there's still more content to adapt. No. I'm talking about an anime that left you hanging with questions, or they were in the middle of a problem that was never solved. Do you know what happens when we get an unnecessary sequel? We get Madoka Magica Rebellion. The first season of Madoka Magica got amazing reception worldwide. Without spoiling the series, we didn't get the greatest ending ever, but we did get a satisfying conclusion. The sequel movie was a cash grab, not fan service.
But Sloan, that sounds like the same situation with One Punch Man. Why are you calling Madoka's sequel a cash grab?
Well, that's because One Punch Man is a manga adaptation. There's still more to adapt, so it's just a little extra for the fans. Madoka is an anime original, so for the movie they had to come up with a new conflict to somehow move the concluded story along. And what did we get? A fuck you ending. An ending that made no sense, and we're in the middle of a problem. So now we need a sequel for that movie, but we're not gonna get it. Basically, what was the purpose of this video? To show you the different types of sequels. We shouldn't be happy at every single sequel announcement. We really need to think about the situation on all sides. Think about the studio who's adapting it, the reception the anime and the source material got, the timing of the sequel, and of course, if the previous season needs one. 'Cause if you don't, you'll get a Berserk 2016. A sequel that was announced 20 years after Season 1, and everyone was happy for it. But then the trailer came out, and we see that it was in shitty CGI. But it was gonna continue the story. Then when the anime aired, everyone went on a rampage at the terrible adaptation. Even if you were an anime only, you hated it. Having a Berserk sequel all of a sudden was not fan service, just a cash grab because the manga was successful. Hopefully I changed your outlook on sequels. Let me know your thoughts on any upcoming or previous sequels. I'm your female otaku. Sayonara.